Good evening. This is Road Glide Rider, and I'm going to do something that a lot of people wonder if it's really hard to do, and they always consider doing it. And that is, I'm going to change the air cleaner on my 2021 Road Glide. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the Arlen Ness Big Sucker air cleaner on. It actually has a more surface area, so it'll actually get better airflow. It'll have the stock cover, will bolt right to it, so really you won't be able to tell that it's been changed. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to do. Now, let's go up there and I'm going to show you what the Big Sucker's got in it first. Now, this is the Arlen Ness Big Sucker air cleaner kit. This is what you get that fits under the stock air cleaner from Harley-Davidson. Now, everybody worries about taking it off, and you first look at it and go, well, how do you get it off? Well, this little cover is just on there with Velcro. Industrial string Velcro, pops right off like that, see? And of course, then it's got this screw right here for taking it off. Now, it is a Torx, so let me get my Torx screws, Torx wrenches. Now, it is a Torx, so we'll get it here. I do is T40. Yeah, it is a T40. So let's take this off. Now, insert on there. Now, the when I bought my bike, I actually had to put a Stage 1 kit into it, and this is a Harley-Davidson Screaming Eagle air cleaner. But I had the Arlen Ness Big Sucker on my 09, and it got a lot better airflow. So I decided I was going to change this over to the Big Sucker also. It just comes right off there. This is the first time I've had this off there, and it looks like it looks like maybe a 7/16 to get it off. So let's check. Well, it's not a 10 millimeter. So let me find the size it is. Yeah, it's a 3/8 inch. Now, I tried looking to see if I can use a wrench. I tell you right now, it's easier to get it off with a socket. So, we're going to get it off. Now, you saw in the picture what the Big Sucker kit comes with. And one of the real advantages of the Big Sucker versus the Harley-Davidson one is the oil recirculation. It actually has a little catch underneath it to catch the oil and not let it drip down, which I think is a good idea. Now, this is the first time I've had this off of here, so we'll see how it looks, because we're going to be looking at it at the same time I do. So let's see how it looks. Oh yeah, you got the Harley lines, oil coming through. So the Big Sucker is different. Now it actually uses Allen's to do theirs. So I'm going to show you the difference. Oh, yeah, they use SAE 3/16 inch Allen for the screws. Now, if you saw the ones that came off of the Harley-Davidson Screaming Eagle unit, use little bolts that bolted onto these extended parts here. But if you remember looking at the exploded part, the Screaming Eagle uses Allens that reach all the way through to the base. Now, here is the Arlen Ness air cleaner, and here's the Harley-Davidson air cleaner. As you actually notice, it's actually got openings all the way through it, all the way around, which is a lot better. Now, I've got these on there to make sure I don't lose little rubber O-rings. But if you actually look, it's got a little catch can down here, so it's not gonna let any oil drip down the way this has got oil, which is blowing back through. This actually catches and actually goes in right here, so it's not got little lines, little rubber hoses going, which is a lot better than the Harley-Davidson. Because the Harley-Davidson has these plastic lines that go over it. So, let's get those off of there. That's on the fuel injection. Let's pull these rubber lines off, because I got to get the bolts off underneath there. See? These are the phosphor reactor Harley-Davidson lines. They cover up the bolts. I pull these off, look at it. It gets oil on me. Now, we need to get these off. Looks like a 1/2 inch, so let me go get a 1/2 inch D socket so I can get that off. Now, I went ahead and took most of these screws out loose without the camera on, but I used just regular, at 7/16, not a 1/2 inch on those bolts with a vent. And I would strongly advise you use a deep socket, because I'll show you. I use a 1/4 inch drive. You can use a bigger one, but I was able to get it with 1/4 inch drive. As you look at this, it's got a little thing on top of there for hooking up the rubber lines, so that it'll vent easier. Like I said, I advise you to use a deep socket to be able to clear all that stuff. And now what do I do with the Allen? It's right there. You look, this comes right off. The screws stay in the base. Right there. Now, you pull it off, you'll notice, it looks like they didn't clean this very good when they first changed it over at the dealer, because there's stuff right here on the face here that needs to be cleaned off. Now this has got a gasket that goes right here, but it's always make sure you clean this off before you put the gasket on, because that way it'll get a good mating surface and it'll seal it up better, because you don't want any air leaks on your air going in, because if you get air leaks, that means that you won't get the proper fuel and air mixture. Plus, any air that escapes around this edge will not be filtered, and you might get trash sucked up inside there. So make sure it's cleaned off before you do that. Now, like I said, you saw from the original pictures, it had 4 little O-rings. See, here's one of them right here. The O-rings help seal this up. I left it on there to make sure I didn't lose the little O-rings. I want to make sure I kept them. The O-rings made up against this surface right here. I look like they had trash in there too. Look at that. Oh, that's from the tape seal, thread seal that they used. But you got to remember that those bolts have vents in them, so the air, the oil can vent out. It's breathers for your crankcase. So you want to make sure you don't lose the O-rings when you go. Now let me get this ready to put on and finish cleaning the surface off right here. I'll be right back. Now, one thing I want you to notice, the little gasket they send with it, it's got, if you look, it's got a little spot right here. It's indentation. That goes right here to make sure that this clears this real good. And it fits in there just like that. That way it seals it up real good. Make sure you get that right there to have the clearance for this area right here. Now, I went ahead and got these started in there. Didn't tighten it down, but of course I got the gasket in there. Then I got, now these, since it's going into the intake, is actually metric. It's 5 millimeter on these 3 screws here, because this is going to the fuel injection throttle body, and of course it's metric. Now the bolts going in up here into the heads are SAE. They are 1/4 inch. Now I did the I got these started to hold in place because I had the O-rings on the back here. I want to make sure I didn't lose the O-rings. So I got this to hold it in place. The whole way makes the O-rings are in place, and I started these in. And I made sure that these right here, the breather bolts, were in. Now they breathe out. Matter of fact, I'll take one out and show you real quick. Since it's holding it on there already with that one bolt, I can take this other one out to show you how it breathes. Now, of course, it's hollow like the factory bolts are. Difference is the factory bolts come out here in a little rubber piece that goes around and sticks in through there. These are, he breathe here, and the hole is here in the center. It actually has a hole in the body of the housing, so you got no rubber pieces in there. And that's what holds it. Now what I'm going to do also is just to make sure it stays nice and tight. All of these bolts, we put a little dab of blue Loctite on it. Just a dab. Because I can tell you they had Loctite on the others, and it was really difficult to get them off. I don't think they use blue, they use something else. But blue Loctite will work good. It'll snug it up and it ain't going to come loose. So I'm going to go ahead and take these other screws out, put a little blue Loctite on it, and tighten it up. I'll be right back. Now, one thing I will point out is make sure when you're putting this bolts in, make sure they're going in straight. Because I noticed when I started to put this one in, it was slightly off center, and it tried to start, but if you actually force it to go, you'll cross thread it. You cross thread your heads, and you got a problem, because you will then have to take your heads off probably and redo your heads. So make sure when you're putting these in, do not cross thread them. Make sure it's going in straight so it does not cross thread. Now, if you notice, there's a big difference between this, which is the Harley-Davidson Screaming Eagle air cleaner, and the Arlen Ness Big Sucker air cleaner. The Harley-Davidson's got these rubber lines here that actually put oil through this tube, and actually I had to actually wipe out the inner side because it was coated with oil. And then the air cleaner itself is held on to this plate as part of the air cleaner, which means it's going to be more expensive to replace. It's held on by 3 bolts, which go on the outside. They go on. Whereas the Arlen Ness, the 3 bolts that hold the air cleaner on, actually are a separate plate, which means your air cleaner is separate. That it is washable and reusable. It just slides right on there, and this goes on here. It actually got more filter area to actually get you more air. So let me stick this on. I'll be right back. Now, I've got this on. Now what I did is I got the 3 screws started. Then I pull them out individually. Put a little blue Loctite on there in order to get it secured. Now, the only thing left to do now is put the air cleaner on. Now it comes with a little spacer with the kit, which is used to help make sure that the air cleaner cover has got plenty of room. Now this is a factory air cleaner cover. It's got the Harley-Davidson warning on it. Use a standard wrench to put it on. Now, these are 1/4 inch. The only thing, that's SA, everything's SA except the screws going to the body of the throttle body. Those are metric. I'm looking now to make sure that the screw here is SA. Oh, here I'm looking for a Allen wrench and I forgot. This is a Torx, and it's a T40 Torx. It fits in there. I'll make sure I get it over the hole. Because it goes right over the air cleaner and make it look like it's a factory air cleaner. There it is. Fits right over it. The difference is, whereas there was even a Screaming Eagle air cleaner had a little plate right here, whereas the Arlen Ness has actually got air filter all the way around, so it actually got more area to pick up. Now this had Loctite on it already, so I'm not going to put more Loctite on it, because I can feel it trying to put it on. It's pretty tight. So, you guys see how easy it is to change the air cleaner. It's not that much. And you can actually put it on and actually have it better flow. Matter of fact, I can tell just from the look of it, it's got better, because before this air cleaner actually went past the edge. and I put the cover back on, guess what? It looks just like the Screaming Eagle one, but actually it'll flow better. So, now you see how easy it is to change. So, even if you don't put a stage 1 kit on, but you want to get a little bit more power, this will actually give you a little more air. Now, if you change the mufflers and the air cleaner, I advise you to go down and have the ECM program to give you a little more gas, because this will, along with a free-flowing air muffler, will actually use more air, and you need more fuel to go with it. So, now that you've seen it, how easy it is. Now, like I said, I use the Arlen Ness big sucker because I had good luck with a big sucker before, and I figured I'd do it again. So, hopefully, you got something out of this, because I'm doing this to show people how easy it is to work on your Harley. You don't have to go down and pay that $100 and something an hour to have the dealer do it. This is something you can do yourself. And doing it yourself does not violate the warranty, because it's still it still has the specifications required for the warranty work. It's not actually doing anything in the motor. Now, you might have a problem if you do this and don't have the programming checked. That might be a problem, but I would advise to do that because you can actually get more power out of it. So, if you like what I do, please like this, subscribe, and you'll see when I'm going to have any more videos put out. I got a couple more things I'm going to do to help it. So, like, share, subscribe, and you'll get notified. If you like it, don't cost you nothing. It helps show YouTube that what I do is of interest. And if you think some of your friends want to do it and stuff, hey, share it with them. Let them see it. And maybe they can get something out of it too. So, you got the Road Glide Rider right here. So, I hope I'll see you on the road. Everybody, ride safe.